I will withdraw, for now. Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seiros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the holy tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
Edelgard and Hubert have disappeared. They will surely return to the Empire. The Knights have been dispatched to search and investigate. If there is any movement, we will know. We cannot ignore the possibility that there will soon be open hostilities between us and the Imperial Army. When that happens, are you prepared to fight your own? If you wish to return to the Empire, I will not stop you. That is your choice to make.
If Edelgard is acting afoul, then we have no choice but to strike her down.
It's up to us to stop them. We have a war on our hands.
I have no interest in fighting, not even for her. And yet...
How are we supposed to decide just like that? Hubie, I'm sorry about this, but I'm siding with the professor.
Her doings are wrong. It is our duty to make everything right.
I am sure you all have much on your mind. I encourage you to confer with your professor and make a decision. You have until the fighting commences. Professor, I am depending on your strength for the safety of Fodlan.
The leaders of the Church have misused its creed to fulfill their true desire, to rule the world. They have fooled the people of Fodlan. Long ago, they divided the Empire to create a kingdom, and then divided that kingdom to create an alliance. They did all of this to make the masses bicker amongst themselves. They caused instability in order to reinforce their own authority. They gathered gold and lived in extravagance. How? By preying on the devotion of those who wished for the goddess's salvation. Those corrupt hypocrites cannot lead Fodlan to true peace. Their foul belief system must be torn asunder so that true wisdom may finally prevail. And so, I have decided, by order of the Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, the Empire hereby declares war on the Church of Seiros.
I cannot believe it. Let us recount the situation as it stands, Professor. After you returned from the Holy Tomb, the Adrestian Empire declared war upon the Church of Seiros, as well as our allies. Edelgard demanded her own father relinquish the throne, and then assumed the position of Emperor. She has deemed the Church of Seiros to be an evil of this world, and is calling upon the people of Fodlan to help her tear it down. I must discuss our response to this declaration with the Archbishop, after the Knights return from their investigation. Until then, watch over the students. See that they remain calm.
Unforgivable! I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
The fault is my own. I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgard's heart. She plotted with ill-meaning strangers to achieve her own ambitions and defiled the Holy Tomb. If that is not wicked, what is? Or perhaps her ambitions are even grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seiros.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven, nor forgotten. We must stop the Empire, and quickly.
I have returned, Rhea.
Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements?
Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach.
It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time. It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done.
Professor, listen closely. If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you. You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are. Or perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense. Our dear professor is a vessel. One who carries the power of the progenitor god within. In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment. But I suppose there is no turning back.
I ask that you help our friend. And in doing so, help her. I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our Creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my part as well.
Flame, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the Professor, after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Sedith. And you as well, Flame. As followers of the progenitor god, it is up to us to see our mission through.
Listen up, everyone. The Imperial Army is upon us. If you can fight, pick up a weapon. Everyone else, hurry up and evacuate. We have the goddess's protection on our side. We have nothing to fear. Victory will be ours.
Professor, are you ready? Well, hurry up. I don't need to tell you that the situation is dire. We have some support troops from the local nobles, but the army we're facing is immense. No matter how you look at it, we're at a disadvantage. To make matters worse, the enemy is being led by Edelgard. You know well how extraordinary she is.
Of course we know, but we can't let her get away. Also, please cease your unwarranted glaring. We don't deserve your judgment.
My father was removed from his role as Prime Minister, and is still under house arrest in the Imperial capital. As his successor, it is my duty to stop her.
The way she's going about all of this is wrong. It's up to us to help her realize that.
I won't be following her, but I won't run away either. Adie's going to come at us with all she's got, and that's a lot. That means we need to fight her with all of our might, too.
She is one who has strength. That has certainty. But we have strength also. We will not be losing.
I shall fight with all that I have. It is an honor to fight alongside each of you.
You students really have guts, don't you? Though I suppose I can't call you students anymore. You're now part of our order. You have our support and our gratitude. Professor, I'm counting on you. Go ahead and take the lead. These kids, they look up to you. I guess that goes without saying. Just look in their eyes and you can see it. If we all make it through this, let's meet again. Good luck out there!
Everybody here, young and old, is in your hands. No, I will not allow another Red Canyon tragedy to happen here.
What is going on? What now?
Why did you come?
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you. Excuse me? Are you saying you have forgotten who I am? How dare you! Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? I'm just a villager here. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Seiros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Anyway, I've heard some thieves have been spotted around those parts these days. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? I told you. They say thieves are running amok up there. And there's plenty of other dangers, too. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Unbelievable.
Why am I even here? I know they won't come, but here I am anyway. How has it already been 5 years? Time stops for no one, I suppose. Huh? It's you! What are you doing here? For me? Highly doubtful. So you were alive. What have you been doing all this time? Joking at a time like this. Well, if you don't wish to tell me, I won't try to persuade you. All that matters is this. Will you return to the Empire with me? Hesitation. It betrays your true answer. That means we're enemies now, you and I. My teacher, the time for discussion has come to an end. Even though our swords may cross as they do now. There's no denying that our chosen paths never will. Goodbye, my teacher. When next we meet, one of us will breathe their last.
Who is it? Is that... It's you! Yes, it has been. But this is no time for casual chatter. After you disappeared 5 years ago, do you have any idea how dire the Church's situation became? Where were you? And what were you doing all of those years? You slept for 5 years. In that case, I suppose there is nothing more to say. You should know that Rhea also disappeared after the battle at Garreg Mach 5 years ago. Since then, the Knights have been fully devoted to searching for her. They have yet to find a trace. It is possible. However, the Empire has not made any such statement as of yet. Even if that were the truth, there is no way for us to confirm. We have searched all over, but we have reached an impasse. Unless we do something, our efforts to find Rhea and rebuild the Church will be stalled indefinitely. Our opportunity to strike back is close at hand. Sadly, we are short on military strength. However, now we have you. Do you recall what Rhea told you 5 years ago? She asked for you to take her place should anything ever happen to her. She entrusted you with leading the people of Fodlan. Then I beg of you, please heed her words. It is up to you to lead us, and to defeat the Empire. No, to defeat Edelgard. There is a very good reason, but it is not yet time to divulge it. Just know that without you, we have no hope.
Sir, bandits have entered the area.
They stole some hidden weapons and ran off. They're heading for the town, so that might be where they're hiding out.
Vile thieves! Even with the Knights gone, I cannot believe they would dare trespass here. This is unforgivable. Come, Professor. Let us give chase! It seems we were able to expel the bandits who were hiding in Garreg Mach. How fortuitous that you students should gather at the monastery like this.
We made a promise with the professor. That was 5 years ago to the very day.
We all gave our promise to be meeting here when the Millennium Festival arrived.
Though the one who came up with that plan is not here. Edelgard. Still, how incredible that those present gathered despite the terrible state of things.
The most incredible part of it is that you didn't oversleep and miss the reunion.
So, that is the reason. Professor, the monastery is safe because of your devoted students. I am now fully convinced that you are the only one who can save Fodlan. Ah, so you have finally accepted your destiny. On the very day I return to Garreg Mach, you awaken and return as well. This is no mere coincidence, but rather the work of the goddess. Actually, well, it will be easier to just show you. Come with me to the Holy Mausoleum. I realize that since you've been slumbering for so long, you have no idea what has transpired in the various territories. Allow me to explain. After the Battle of Garreg Mach, there was a change of regime in the kingdom. House Blaiddyd suffered a series of brutal massacres, which claimed the lives of Dimitri and Regent Rufus. The kingdom capital fell and was absorbed into the Empire as the Fargus Dukedom, which is now under Cornelia's control. Some still resist the Empire. As of now, Rodrigue of House Fraldarius is at the center of such efforts. In the Alliance, Claude leads the faction that opposes the Empire, and Lawrence leads those who have sided with them. The front lines are ever in motion, but the war effort has stagnated overall. In short, both the Kingdom and the Alliance have been swallowed up by the Empire and are on the verge of collapse. We must gather our generals and soldiers under your command and reverse this dire situation. Flayn, look! The professor has returned to us.
What do you mean? Oh, goodness! It really is you, Professor! I cannot believe you are still of this world! We were so worried we would never see you again! I forgot something important at the Holy Mausoleum. I told my brother that I had to go back for it no matter what, and so here I am.
After we finished here, we were going to continue our search for Rhea. But now that you are here, things have changed. We must not waste this opportunity. We shall send word to the knights scattered all across the land. The time has come for the Knights of Seiros to return to action. We are counting on you, Professor.
Ah, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Seta told us everything. From here on out, you will have our aid.
I am so grateful that everyone is safe. I am sorry things are moving so rapidly, but there is something we must discuss. Come with me. The time has come to make our true stand against the Empire. Our base will be Garreg Mach Monastery. The interior is in less than prime condition, but we should be able to utilize it much the same as we had before.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
It may be an area of importance, but it is far removed from the front lines. Considering the burden of transport, it is possible they are not paying too much attention to it.
Nothing escapes the Emperor. There must at least be a spy or two.
Professor, what do you think? I see. it must be the right idea.
The town and surrounding hamlets are still present. And though far from abundant, the church still has funds at its disposal.
That's true. Professor, I think we can leave expanding our army to my brother. He was always good at negotiating, and I believe he is best suited to the task.
In that case, I have a request. Please allow my soldiers to join your ranks as well. House Sire already tried taking on the Emperor. As a result, our territory was stolen from us. As a consequence, I do not have many soldiers left to speak of. But those I have are yours to command.
I feel like I should tell you that I've been protecting some kids who lost their parents in the war. They're in the town right now, but maybe we can move them to the monastery? I'm sure they'd be happy to chip in however they can.
Yes, I understand. I will make the necessary arrangements.
I nabbed some valuables from my house. Father is with the Emperor now, so... It's not much, but it's yours.
I don't have a thing to contribute. In fact, I'm still in my same old clothes.
I've been wandering on my own for 5 years. I won't go back to that house or my father, that's for sure.
I understand. Leave it to me. No labor is too great if it means saving Fodlan. Your attention, everyone. The Knights of Seiros and our most trusted allies have gathered. We have rallied our troops for the purpose of stopping the Adrestian Empire's efforts to rule all. We have prepared a new flag to fight under. Much like the Professor, it bears the crest of flames. I hope everyone finds this suitable. Beneath this flag, we will bring back peace to the great land of Fodlan.
Professor, I am not sure I understand. Why is the Empire intent on making an enemy of the Church? Quite perplexing. If the Church disappears from Fodlan, I wonder if the Empire thinks that it will benefit them in some way. In truth, I feel that it will only confuse the people.
I have no idea what Edelgard was thinking or how she arrived at the decision to raise an army. However, I do have some small insight as to what she is after. She is attempting to destroy the existing social order. That is why the Church of Seiros is first on her list of institutions that must be destroyed. It may very well be her goal to rebuild Fodlan from the ground up.
I see. But that is only Edelgard's desire, is it not? I cannot imagine that the people of Fodlan would want that for themselves. She may have high ideals, but she certainly lacks any compunction about throwing the world and its people into an awful war. It just seems so illogical.
You have a point, Flame. I do not believe the people will ever understand her aim. So long as she makes the people suffer, our Knights of Seiros will fight on and strive to protect them. If we do not defeat Edelgard and retake control of this world, Fodlan's future shall be as dark as night.
Thank you, dear brother. I finally feel I understand what is going on.
I am always happy to answer your questions, Flame. Is there anything else you wish to ask?
Well, actually, I have a question for the professor. My brother mentioned that you slumbered for 5 years. Where was it that you slept? The bottom of a valley? In the water? That certainly sounds frigid. I would never choose such a place myself. I am surprised you did not fall ill.
Pardon the intrusion, but we must prepare a counterattack, now! It seems the Imperial Army found out about us entering the monastery.
That is sooner than expected. They must have been spying on us.
I wonder if we can win on our own.
There aren't many of them. It looks like we'll just be facing the ones who were stationed nearby.
Did they move on us too soon? Perhaps if we fight by using the land to our advantage... Of course. If we are careful, we will not lose. Never again will those Imperial scoundrels disgrace Garreg Mach with their presence. Onward, Professor! We drove back the Imperial army. The real fight has only just begun.
I never thought I'd be fighting Randolph. I guess it can't be helped, seeing as how I've left my own territory and all. But what will I do if my father or brother get involved? I really don't want to face them.
Too true, Professor. So long as the Empire is our enemy, we cannot avoid fighting those we are acquainted with. Though I suppose I have it easier, since my house is no longer on the Empire's side.
My friends from the opera said they would leave the capital and go west. So at least I won't be seeing them in battle.
I don't think I care if my own house falls. Let's make it a grand fight. After a grand nap, of course.
It does not give me happiness to have the people of Bridget involved. But it is not the time to be thinking of that. If it is a possibility, I will be having their strength.
I don't mind at all, really. I have no friends anyway, and my father hasn't done much to make me care for him. Not that he'd ever step on a battlefield anyway. Oh, but I do wonder how Mother is doing.
Each of our situations is unique. What we share is companionship, and the will to fight as one. Professor, you are the heart of our efforts. We will support you as best we can. I have a proposal. It would be most difficult to fight the Imperial Army with the forces we have now. As such, I believe we should send messengers to whatever lords we can trust in the Kingdom and the Alliance, so that we may gain their support. Do you agree? It is heartening to hear you say that. If all we do is bide our time, our enemy's main army will come down upon us like a hammer from above.
Who are you planning to ask? Sadly, House Karen is out. We can trust them, but they have no help to offer.
How about House Daphne of the Alliance? Their leader is sure to at least respond.
Judith, the hero of Daphne. Yes, that is a fine suggestion. That territory is on the border of the Kingdom and the Alliance. It has not yet been claimed by the fires of war. If they agree to lend us their troops, our forces will be greatly strengthened. We shall send along a secret messenger at once. Ah, it is you.
We were just talking about Rhea.
We have searched for 5 long years, but have not found a trace of her. It is possible that she is sleeping somewhere, just as you were sleeping all those years. That is my current theory, yes. We have moved against the Empire with the intent of defeating them, but have not given up hope of recovering Rhea. If she is alive, we will find her. Rhea is like family to us, and to you as well. Please, lend me your strength. The messenger we sent to Daphne returned with a reply. Please, read it at once.
I understand your situation. I will help you with whatever strength I have to spare. But there is a problem. Openly marshaling soldiers within my territory could provoke other members of the Alliance. Therefore, I will secretly gather troops in Aelel, the Valley of Torment. Will your group be able to receive the soldiers at this location? From there, it should be safe to return to the monastery by following the border between the Alliance and the Kingdom.
Aelel is a deep valley located on the border of the Kingdom and the Alliance. People stay far away. There, we can meet without anyone finding out. It is decided. Make plans to meet up with our reinforcements at once.
Aelel, the Valley of Torment.
I'm overheated and have changed my mind. I'd like to return to my cozy bed now.
Who knew summer so hot existed in Fodlan? I wonder if it's okay to walk everywhere.
Just use the superior emotional fortitude of nobility. And, well, be very careful.
It is said that this land was born of the goddess's wrath. There was an immense battle here long ago. To end it, she set the entire valley aflame. Of course, there is no record of this, Some theorize this was done by another and then blamed on the goddess.
My head is being defeated by this heat. I think I am seeing visions. There, within the mountains. A shadow.
That's just the... Whoa. I see it too.
It appears to be a military force, but in a different location than the one we agreed to. They are dressed like kingdom soldiers. They fooled us.
Damn. I thought we had disposed of all the spies. They carry the flag of House Rowe. They've joined the Empire then. To think they'd travel all this way.
Are you ready to confront them, Professor? As am I. We have no reason to believe she was intercepted en route, but we must act quickly. Let us take them down and locate Judith's army. They have chosen the Valley of Torment for this battle, and so we shall send them to the flames of eternity.
To think we'd get into a scrap here, of all places. We're lucky we all made it out alive. Don't worry about it. In this day and age, it's a miracle I've been unscathed this long. So you're that professor everyone talks about. You're just as Claude described. You used to teach at the Officers' Academy 5 years back, right? I guess you didn't teach Claude, though. He asked me to help you because you seemed trustworthy.
Claude of the Alliance? How did he learn of our plans? We can't underestimate someone like him. There is a reason they call him the Master Tactician. But I suppose we are both fighting against the Empire now. The enemy of our enemy is our ally.
That's right. I have a letter from him as well. It's up to you to decide how to use it.
That is yours, Professor. Please tell me what it says when you see fit.
Okay, let's wrap up this handoff of soldiers. Not that I suspect you of anything, but I must warn you that these are very important soldiers for my territory. Don't treat them like expendable equipment. Oh, by the way, I have some important information. A witness saw Lady Rhea being dragged off by the Imperial Army after the battle 5 years ago.
Are you sure your source is reliable?
One of my own saw it happen. I'm certain.
It seems we chose wisely when we decided to fight against the Empire.
Thank you for the information. We will rescue her at all costs. Now that we have reinforcements, it is time to advance against the Empire. And yet, we do not have enough troops to face our enemy's main army head-on. We have no choice but to use our small numbers wisely, by taking over key locations as we blaze our way to the Imperial capital. Yes, it will. We must brace ourselves. As you know, the Ogma Mountains lie south of Garreg Mach, towards the Empire. In order to enter Empire territory, we must travel around those mountains. There are 2 possible routes: through the Kingdom to the west, and through the Alliance to the east. Yes, that makes sense. There are lords in the Alliance who support the Empire, but they are at least not completely under their control. Furthermore, you hold a key to the Empire within your grasp. Yes, precisely.
Hey there, Teach. It's been a while, hasn't it? I never dared to imagine you might still be alive. Wonders never cease. I don't know exactly why, but I feel that I can trust you. So I'm going to do just that. To that end, I propose an exchange. You're intending to invade the Empire. That much is clear. And that means your only option is to pass through the east. You'll have to cross the Aramid River, which runs along the border between the Empire and the Alliance. That means you'll need to gain control of the Great Bridge of Murden, the one closest to Garreg Mach. It just so happens my family, House Regan, is in conflict with House Gloucester right now. It would be easy enough for us to eliminate them, but I would prefer that we settle things without it coming to that. Do you see where I'm going with this? We'll act as a distraction and draw House Gloucester away from there. That will allow you to cross through their territory and take the Great Bridge of Myrddin. After you take the bridge from the Imperial Army, House Gloucester won't be able to receive their aid. You'll get to cross Myrddin without any trouble, and I'll be able to maintain stability in the Alliance. Not a bad deal, eh? I hope to hear from you soon. Be well, Teach.
The master tactician indeed. Somehow he is already aware of our plan. The conditions are not bad. All is as he says it is. If we take the Great Bridge of Myrddin, and House Gloucester bows down to House Regan, the route from the monastery to the Empire will be much safer for our forces. It seems you are decided. We will send our answer at once. The messenger we sent to Claude has returned. It seems he will be initiating the plan immediately. We will advance when House Regan's forces move out. We will take the Great Bridge of Myrddin with minimal casualties, and in doing so, initiate all-out war with the Empire. We must prepare for battle, Professor. This is the Great Bridge of Myrddin, one of the bridges that cuts across the Aramid River between the Empire and the Alliance. Its defenses have been fortified since last I was here. It seems the enemy is sufficiently prepared.
That's the idea, Professor. Let's make this quick and painless, so much so that it's over before they even know it started.
Yes, that is most sound. I do not distrust Claude, but there is no guarantee that the other Alliance lords will not move against us. Onward, with caution.
After we cross the Great Bridge, the greatest plains in Fodlan will be before us. You do remember, do you not? I speak of Gronder Field, where we fought the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
The ones defending the Great Bridge. It isn't my father or brother, is it? I really want to finish this battle without seeing them. Especially my father.
Yes, I hear your father can fell a bear without even a weapon in hand. When we run into him, I'll be sure to let you take the lead. Family matters and all.
That's not funny, you jerk!
Should we be burning the signal of uprising?
There's no need for that, Petra. Smoke or no smoke, they'll get the idea. Losing the bridge should be a pretty big clue.
Oh no, I can't believe we're actually going to invade! If Edelgard gets angry... Oh, I get nervous just picturing it! Stop that imagination! Oh, and if she destroys the monastery with her army, we're all gonna die!
The hour of questioning has long since passed. I assure you, whatever happens, this will not end as it did 5 years ago. Back then, the Empire was able to focus its entire army on Garreg Mach. Now, their front lines are stretched thin along their borders with both the Kingdom and the Alliance. Their allies have grown in number, but so have their enemies. They should not have too many soldiers they can readily send our way. Now then, let us set forth. This shall be the first step in ending the chaos that has engulfed this realm. Somehow we managed to capture the Great Bridge of Myrddin. To see the Imperial army hold its ground until every last soldier fell, that is true dedication. It is clear that Edelgard is not some cruel emperor who holds her people in a vice-like grip. There is something more driving our foes. From here on out, our journey will not be an easy one.
Excuse me, sir. Gilbert is here.
Gilbert? What was he doing all this time? We had better go and meet with him.
So, you've captured the Great Bridge of Myrddin. I'm impressed that you were able to break through their defenses.
Save your praise, Gilbert. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Why are you here? Why now?
I am once again in the service of Dimitri. He was in hiding in Fraldaria's territory, where he was biding his time for a counteroffensive.
Dimitri is alive?
Yes, he was to be executed in Ferdiad, but Dedu stepped forward to rescue him. I am here today by command of Dimitri himself. We realize that our enemies are the same, and that it may be advantageous to join forces.
I see. I shall hear you out.
We are preparing to advance against the Empire. Will you join us as we march toward the Imperial capital? If that is too much to ask, then at least allow us to freely cross the Great Bridge of Merton.
Hold a moment. We have just finished a fierce battle, and our forces are few. To march straight for the main body of the Imperial army and challenge them? It is too soon. I am happy to allow safe passage over the bridge, but to lend our aid asks too much of us. Is that not so? If you would be willing to wait a few months, we might be able to offer something more.
I am afraid His Highness is not able to stop his advance.
If that is the case, I am afraid we cannot join you. Please, send our regards to Dmitri.
I understand. It's unfortunate that we were not able to secure the help of the Knights of Seiros. Still, I'm grateful that we can cross the Great Bridge of Merton safely. Thank you for that. This will be a fight to the death. It is highly likely that we will meet our end. I wish you both the best of luck in the battles ahead.
And may the goddess protect you as well.
Emergency! In Gronder Field!
We are in the middle of a military conference. Please, calm yourself and tell us what is the matter.
Yes, sir. It seems the Kingdom and Alliance armies clashed with Imperial forces on Gronder Field. Amid the chaos of three armies battling each other out there, the Imperial army was routed. Edelgard sustained heavy wounds and retreated to Enbar.
Well then, I suppose...
Sir, the Kingdom army was also decimated, and His Highness Dmitri has been counted among the dead.
What?
The Alliance sustained heavy casualties as well, and the whereabouts of their leader, Claude, is currently unknown.
Unknown? It must have been a brutal fight. To have lost His Highness. How tragic. Our only solace is that Edelgard sustained severe injuries. This is all quite unexpected, but we must find a way to use this situation to our advantage. The Empire's main force has suffered a mighty blow. Edelgard will most certainly avoid the front lines. Now is the time for us to infiltrate the Empire and aim for the capital.
But what will happen to the Lords of the Old Kingdom and Alliance territories?
They have lost many leaders and soldiers. I'm sure they must be hard at work rebuilding. We will foster cooperation by aiding them through the local churches. The remaining Lords of the Kingdom and Alliance must join together to form one union. And you should be the one to lead them. What do you say? Indeed, it is a question for another day. We must focus on our battle with the Empire. For now, what is our next course of action? We must choose a place within the Empire that will give us solid defenses for our front line. That will become the foothold for our invasion of the capital. There is one massive fortress that boasts the greatest defenses in the Empire, Fort Mercius. But we will stand no chance if we attack by traditional means. We must gather everyone and devise a plan of attack.
It has been a lifetime, hasn't it, Professor? Yes, I thought so too. I wanted to slice her throat, but I did not get the chance. I let people die, and yet I still stand. Rodrigue, Gustav, Dedu. You sound just like Rodrigue. A reason. Everyone gives such complicated advice, and I can never quite grasp it all. That is why Professor, I came here to explain my decision. I have no resources to take back the kingdom capital, much less to defeat the Empire. And that is why...
Professor, you will catch a cold sleeping in a place like this. Is something the matter? I am the only one here. Were you dreaming? I can't say for certain that you were dreaming, but if someone did come here to see you, that person only wanted you to see their face. Perhaps they wanted you to guide them. We are just about to pass through Gronder Field. We should be in view of Fort Mercius soon. It looks like the battle made quite an impact. The Imperial Army has lost some of its luster. We should be able to invade the fort without too much trouble. Yes, after a few short months, they will already be back on their feet. We cannot waste this opportunity.
Professor, the soldiers have finished changing into their disguises. We are ready to masquerade as Imperial troops and infiltrate the fort.
I believe this was your idea, was it not? It is impossible to take Fort Mercius with a frontal assault. We must take it from within. We will infiltrate the fort as Imperial troops and kill the enemy general. All preparations are complete.
According to the scout reports, my father and the others are not inside the fort. It seems they were moved to the front lines of the kingdom's western region.
The Death Knight became the general of this fort after the battle at Gronder Field.
What? The Death Knight? I think I'll be taking a break now. You guys go on ahead.
Bernadetta, you cannot be hiding on a field. The enemy will be seeing you.
No place to hide. I guess I have no choice but to fight.
The Death Knight. I hear that he is counted among the greatest heroes of the Empire at the moment. We never determined whether or not he was truly Yaritza. So, in capturing Mercius, we have encountered another obstacle. I suppose you have a point. If we challenge him again with conviction, we are sure to attain victory.
The impenetrable fortress city of Arianrode goes by the name Silver Maiden. Yet she pales in comparison to Fort Mercius, the stubborn old general. Those who approach are driven back, but once we make our way in, it's all ours.
That fort has been brought to life on stage for countless operas.
Let us commence. We must puncture a hole in the Empire's defenses.
That man approaches. Will Death's scythe claim you, or will I fall to that sword of yours? It is coming. Leave now, or all of you will die.
Run! We have to evacuate immediately!
What just happened here? The fort. It's just gone.
Whatever could that have been? It was almost reminiscent of that terror of legend. We haven't the time for stories. All we can do is retreat to the Great Bridge of Myrden and assess our situation.
Well now, that marching was nearly as trying as the battle itself.
We wasted a few days, but now that we're this far back, we should be safe. Or so I believe.
I still can't believe it. The fort was destroyed, just like that.
The Death Knight knew about the attack. Was it the Empire's doing?
Guess that means they'd rather destroy the fort than lose it.
Whatever the case, we need to get our bearings and decide what we're going to do next.
We all have many questions, but for now we must focus on our next move. What? If we return to the monastery, then our situation is sure to... Ah, yes, I see. So, we make it appear as though we have ceased our invasion by returning to Garreg Mach. Then we divide up our soldiers and infiltrate nearby areas of the capital, right under the Empire's nose. Finally, we gather all of those soldiers somewhere we can get to swiftly from Garreg Mach, and proceed to invade Enbar. Is that what you are thinking?
Are you serious? You know there's no guarantee that we won't be spotted by the enemy, right?
If we fail to convene, we will be isolated inside the Empire and be utterly obliterated.
I will be embracing the nearness of death if I am needing to. With each other.
That sounds dangerous. Really incredibly dangerous.
Make no mistake, if we fail in this plan, there will be no coming back from it. Are you sure about this, Professor? I see. If you are resolved, then I will follow suit. We may be weaker, and the terrain may be against us, but all we can do is use our resources as best we can. That, and pray for the blessings of the goddess. It seems the preparations for our invasion of Enbar are advancing smoothly. All has been laid out so we can move swiftly to the necessary locations. Until the time comes, please try to keep your spirits up. There is something else. I have heard that Rhea is potentially being held captive in the capital. The information could not be confirmed, nor even properly sourced, but even still, we cannot ignore the possibility. Please bear that in mind. Yes, we must not let anything get in the way of rescuing her.
We're finally heading to Enbar, the capital city of the Empire. So many memories there.
Oh yeah? So you've been there before?
Oh, yes. Though it was a very long time ago.
A very long time? You must have been really young. I'm surprised you remember.
The main stage of the Mittelfrank Opera Company is in the capital. I hope no one from the opera gets swept up in the coming chaos.
There are many buildings straight out of the history books in Enbar. I hope they remain unharmed.
You're worried about the buildings? What about the people? You're an odd one, Lynn.
I am also worried about the people. I'm sure my father is in a palace in the capital.
Many people reside in Enbar, so we must take care to avoid needless casualties. I don't think Edelgard cares much for avoiding casualties, so that's probably impossible. I bet we'll be fighting until one side or the other is completely destroyed.
Bernie, you should be staying away from thoughts like that. We will be defeating her with our full power. Our enemy has great strength, but we will not be losing.
I could not agree more. Remember, even if our surprise attack works, a force even greater than all of our troops combined awaits us in the capital. 0 casualties is always the goal, but we must not underestimate the situation at hand.
Still, we must not hold ourselves to the same twisted morality that she does. After all, we are here to stop her, not to follow her down her dark path. We all choose to fight back. We are all in this together. You're right, Flayn. We've got to try our hardest.
A different path from Edelgard.
There is no stopping her. The only way to end this is to kill her.
Our choice. Flame, your words are wonderful and full of bravery.
Let's go! We can't lose!
The situation is dire, and so I will do what must be done.
I am certain that if we join our strength, we can win this battle without losing a single soul.
There it is. The greatest city in all of Fodlan. Enbar, the Imperial capital. Deep within are the palace grounds where the Emperor resides. If Rhea is being kept here, she must be within the palace. We shall tear through the city streets, capture the palace, and kill Edelgard at last.
If the enemy spots us, they'll call back any troops deployed in other areas. We have no leeway here.
Lady Rhea, please be safe.
Now, we must organize our reserve troops and invade Enbar. We have finally made it. I am sure that Edelgard is hiding in the palace, awaiting our arrival.
Who is that? Is that not Deju?
I heard knights had arrived. I came here to find you. I arrived not long after the battle at Gronder Field. I am here to kill Edelgard.
Will you now fight alongside us?
We fight for different objectives. I swore to offer Edelgard's head to His Highness. But, should I fail, I will have no choice but to entrust that mission to you. This is the information I have gathered during my time in hiding here. It includes details about the inside of the castle. There's more. The Archbishop is being held in the palace. I do not know the exact location.
Indeed, just as we suspected.
It seems we chose wisely when we decided to fight against the Empire.
I've done what I came here to do. Farewell.
Wait a moment. He is gone. I believe we should make our way there as well.
Everyone, it is quite probable that Rhea is within the castle walls. We must defeat Edelgard and rescue Rhea in one fell swoop, no matter what stands in our way. She is one of your students. I understand your desire for a path to peace, but she will never bend to our will. You do understand that, do you not? We have no choice but to kill her.
We have already killed Hubert. Now is no time to hesitate.
She has it coming. After all, she started this war.
Someone has to stop her, and that someone is us.
As her former classmates, I feel we owe it to her to try talking it out.
This battle will be a deciding one. I am believing that it is her wish to be facing us.
Poor 80. Professor, wherever you lead, I'll follow.
I'll fight with all I got to save Lady Rhea.
In the name of the Knights of Seiros, we'll bring the hammer down on the Imperial Army.
The lives of Lady Rhea and everyone here are more important than all else. I shall be prepared.
I leave this mission in your hands. Say the word, and we shall begin.
It looks as though my path will end here. My teacher, claim your victory. Strike me down, you must. Even now, across this land, people are killing each other. If you do not act now, this conflict will go on forever. Your path lies across my grave. It is time for you to find the courage to walk it. If I must fall, let it be by your hand. wanted to walk with you.
At last, it is over. Now we must find Rhea.
Professor, brother, I have a letter. The Imperial General asked me to deliver this to my instructor.
Who is it from? Hurry up, Professor. Read it at once.
It is from Hubert. Though he has left this world, he's reaching out through that letter.
If you are reading this letter, that means I have perished. As Her Majesty would never surrender to another, I can only assume she has fallen as well. It greatly pains me to think of this coming to pass. That said, as the survivors, I must ask you to settle certain affairs in our stead. You must destroy the threat that slithers in the dark. I am sure you must recall Monica and Tomas. Their allies yet live. They hold deep resentment against the children of the goddess and the people of the world. And they are biding their time until they can exact revenge. If left to their own devices, it is certain they will eventually bring unimaginable calamity and suffering to the world. I detected their sorcery when you took Fort Merceus. I have deduced the location of their stronghold, Shambhala. You will find its whereabouts enclosed. There is no question that they are the enemies of everyone in Fodlan. Do not allow yourselves to forget that. Lastly, while I cannot say she is in good health, the Archbishop resides in a secret chamber in the Imperial Palace. I have shared the location of the entrance to that secret chamber with the person to whom I have entrusted this letter. I believe that Her Majesty will be victorious. Even still, I must plan for her defeat as well. If you wish to lead this world, I challenge you to rise to the occasion and surpass my estimation of you. Such is your obligation as the victors. And the only fitting tribute to all that Lady Edelgard sacrificed.
What Hubert has written here, I cannot... No. I know it must be true. And if that is the case, then all else makes sense now. I must speak with Rhea. It seems our battle is not over just yet. Those who slither in the dark. We must kill every last one of them, or Fodlan will never again know peace.
They are allies of Monica and Tomas, correct? The ones who were after my blood. And also the ones who destroyed Fort Merceus with that mysterious light.
We shall discuss this more after we have rescued Rhea.
You have come to save me. Is this a dream? I have longed to see you again, all this time. Is it truly you? Setith, Flame, you are here as well. Thank you for supporting the Professor, and for rescuing me.
Rhea, I am overjoyed that you are unharmed. I could not stand losing another of our kind.
Yes. I am reminded of the past, of reuniting in Inbar.
It is truly nostalgic. I would love nothing more than to lose ourselves in memories of the old days, but I must tell you something, Rhea. We have received incredible news, albeit from the Empire. They have told us the identity of our enemy. Those who slither in the dark. It is time for us to stop hiding the truth about the goddess, the progenitor god. The truth about us. It is time for us to tell the people everything.
Those who slither in the dark.
We are told they despise the children of the goddess, as well as those who live above ground. They are planning something horrible.
Please, tell the Professor everything about these vile people. There must be things that only you know.
I understand. Dear child, I will now tell you all that I know. It is true that there is a group of people who have slithered in the darkness and threatened the peace of Fodlan since ancient times. I am sure you have heard the stories of a man named Nemesis.
Nemesis, the King of Liberation. The man who received the sword of the Creator from the goddess and became a hero. However,
Nemesis was originally the leader of a group of bandits. He plundered the Holy Tomb and stole the remains of the progenitor god. When Nemesis appeared in Xanadu some time later, he already wielded the sword of the Creator. The legend that the goddess gifted him the sword so that he could fight the wicked gods is false. That story was created after the fact. I do not know how Nemesis obtained the sword, or why he appeared in Xanadu, but he used that sword to massacre the people there, the children of the progenitor god. From their corpses he gained even more power, and brought war to Fodlan. A mere bandit like Nemesis would not have been capable of anything so monstrous on his own.
it was surmised that someone was collaborating with Nemesis, and there was a massive investigation to uncover who it was. But the truth was never discovered. I am now certain that his accomplices were those who slither in the dark. And this time, they have utilized the Imperial Army to send Fodlan back into the flames of war.
So, Edelgard has made a temporary alliance with them in order to achieve her own aims. Professor, we must journey to Shambhala and stop them.
You must not allow Fodlan's bloody history, the Red Canyon tragedy, to repeat itself.
The Empire has been defeated, and we have rescued Rhea, but still the flames of war burn on. We journey to Shambhala, where those who slither in the dark reside.
We know nothing of the place, or what we can expect to find there.
What Flame says is true. If we are to prevail, we must be prepared for any eventuality before we advance.
I will accompany you.
What? No! That would be far too dangerous. Your long confinement weakened you greatly, did it not?
Those people have opposed us since ancient times. I wish to learn the truth about them for myself.
I understand. I will not stop you, but please take care not to overexert yourself.
What? But she's been hiding away so long. She shouldn't just up and go somewhere scary. Trust me, it's a bad idea.
Bernadetta, hiding away seems a poor description for someone who is imprisoned.
We must be careful not to put undue stress on Lady Rhea.
If the going gets tough, we'll have to carry her on our backs and make a run for it.
You think you can carry her? Maybe someone else should do that part.
No matter what enemies are appearing, we will be protecting her. We will be winning.
If we work together, I am certain all will be well.
The ones we are soon to face have eluded us for a long time. There is much to fear. We must all proceed with utmost caution, lest we fall prey to one of their traps.
To think there is such a vast space hidden beneath the ground. How very creepy.
The atmosphere here is very different from the Holy Mausoleum or Holy Tomb. Look at the shapes and the light.
It's too strange. It's all really old, but you get the feeling that it's also new? I don't understand it.
This decorating is not of Fodlan. What is the meaning here?
I hate the look of things in here. Is this some kind of a city? I would never ever live here.
Living underground, all safe and isolated. It sounds really awful.
An underground city hiding those who slither in the dark. I would not mind finishing up here and returning to the surface with haste.
Let us search for a way to descend farther still. We should survey our surroundings carefully.
No. It is simply... we must defeat those who slither in the dark, no matter what happens. But if my conjecture is correct, the one who they will wish to kill the most is you, dear child. They are aware that you can use the sword of the Creator. Your body houses the same power they once bestowed upon Nemesis. That is why I must protect you, no matter what. Even if I must die to do so. Somewhere in your heart, I believe you do understand. You must at least have your suspicions. There is something I have not yet told you, dear child. I swear to illuminate you once this awful battle has concluded. And at the same time, I will offer my apologies to you. I must, because when you learn the truth, you will also learn what you are and how you were born into this world. It will be a hard truth to hear. When the time comes, I hope you are prepared for it.
You will never get to enjoy your victory.
It can't be.
For all Agarthans, let there be light!
Coming down!
Hang in there, Lady Rhea.
She needs help. Hurry!
That's a serious injury. It's a miracle that she's even alive right now. I'll do what I can, but...
"5 years ago, when this place fell, an enormous white creature appeared on the battlefield. It was the Immaculate One, Rhea." What? You already knew her true identity? I see. In the past, the children of the goddess were all able to change their appearance, just like the Immaculate One. I lost that power long ago, but it seems Rhea has not. Is it not obvious? Flayn and I both are. We have protected Garreg Mach and all of Vodlan for a very long time. But now, the light of Rhea's life is on the verge of disappearing from this world. It is flickering. I do not know if she can be saved. Even if she is, I wonder if she will remain unchanged.
Professor, Are you able to carry on Rhea's work? As the protector of Fodlan, and as leader of the people who live here, you must defend the people, guide them and teach them, join their hearts and spread peace across the whole of the land.
It is not as though you must become the Archbishop, but Fodlan needs leadership. It is up to you to govern this war-torn land. You need not reply right this moment. We will strive to heal Rhea as best we can.
Perhaps it would help to seek counsel from our friends at the monastery about this matter.
I agree. When your mind is made up, please speak with me. I would ask that you give me your decision in the presence of Rhea herself.
Sweet child, you have finally come. I am so happy. It does my heart well to see you here, safe and sound.
Have you made your decision, Professor? Thankfully, Rhea has survived her trying ordeal. However, there is no telling how much longer her light will continue to shine.
Professor, have you decided? Will you become the next ruler of Fodlan?
Before I hear your answer, I shall fulfill the promise I made to you. You will know the truth about your identity. I will hold nothing back. I created you. And within you is the crest stone of the progenitor god. I hid the crest stone within your heart in order to revive her. Sweet child, I am sorry. I wanted to see her, see my mother, even if it meant doing that which is forbidden. I thought that I could regain all I had lost, if only I could revive my mother. And so I tried to bring her back by creating a body and then burying a crest stone within it. A young woman I created. My 12th try after much heartache was a failure. She grew up lacking the conscience of the progenitor god and fell in love with the captain of the Knights of Seiros. In time, she became pregnant, but she and the child were not able to survive the birth. The child she bore was not breathing, and she herself was in grave danger. The new mother pleaded with me to take the crest stone of the progenitor god from her own body and place it within the baby. If I had done nothing, both mother and child would have died. And so I granted her final wish. As she had hoped, the baby started breathing again. The new life was saved. Your life, sweet child. Well before that, I had saved Gerald's life using the power of my blood. That means you are the child of a mother born of the progenitor god's crest stone, and a father who carried my own blood. I knew, deep in my heart, that you would be capable of housing the conscience of the progenitor god. I was right. And yet, she merely gifted her power to you, and then disappeared once more. My dearest wish did not come true. But here you are. You alone wield the power of the progenitor god. And now, I must ask you to use that power to save this world. You must... What? No! Ah!
Rhea? Rhea!
What is wrong? Please, calm yourself, Rhea!
Is the power of the crest taking over her body? Why is this happening?
Said it. It's terrible. White beasts have appeared all over Garreg Mach. It's hard to believe, but there have been reports that the priests and knights have been changing form.
White beasts? Are they the ones Rhea shared her blood and stones with?
Seteth! Demonic beasts are heading this way!
They are after Rhea. Professor, our situation is dire. If we do nothing, Fodlan will be destroyed by a rampaging Immaculate One and these children of hers. There is only one way to stop this. We must... Damn it! We have no choice but to kill the Immaculate One! To kill Rhea!
You're here.